So you spend hours highlighting a textbook only to forget everything a week later. You've watched a dozen tutorials on a new skill, but you still can't actually do the thing. The problem isn't that you're not smart enough, but the problem is that no one has ever actually taught you how to learn effectively. I'm Mark Dearlove, and this is the Learning Stack, the channel designed to give you the strategies and tools you need to learn anything more effectively. In this video, I'm going to share the 5 most common mistakes that are secretly sabotaging your learning and give you a simple 1-minute fix for each one. By the end of this video, you have a completely new toolkit for learning anything faster and more effectively. So let's get started. One of the biggest mistakes we all make is confusing consumption with learning. This is what's being called a passive learner. It's when you read a book or watch a video or listen to a podcast and think, great, I've learned it, I know everything. But all you've really done is let information wash over you. And this is a form of shallow processing, where the brain doesn't really engage with the material in a meaningful way. Because it requires very little mental effort, this information doesn't get encoded into your long-term memory. Your brain hasn't done any work to retain it. So how do we fix it? The fix for this one is pretty simple. It's the 1-minute summary. Now, after you finish a chapter or a video or a podcast episode, close the book or pause the video. Take just 60 seconds and either say out loud or scribble on a piece of paper the main ideas you just learned. If you can't explain it simply, you haven't learned it yet. This forces your brain to switch from passive mode to active mode. Now, mistake number 2 is relying on the cram session. And we've all done it before an exam. You spend 3, 6, 8 hours trying to force feed your brain an entire term's worth of information just to make it look like you've been doing some work. While this might get you through the test, research shows you forget almost all of it within a few days. And this is due to the forgetting curve, which explains how information is lost over time when there's no attempt to retain it. Essentially, without reviewing or practicing what you've learned, you're likely to forget a significant amount of it soon after learning. The fix for this one is called spaced repetition. You might have heard of this one before. Instead of doing one 8-hour session, do 4 2-hour sessions spread over a week. Or even better, study for 30 minutes, then review the key points for 5 minutes the next day, then again a few days later and a few days after that. This is going to tell your brain, this information is important, you need to hold on to it. Now, the third mistake isn't a technique, it's more of a mindset. And this is the fear of looking stupid. We probably have all come across this at some point in our lives. So you get stuck on a concept, but you don't ask for help because you think, everyone else probably gets this, I don't want to be the one who looks stupid. This creates a huge barrier to learning because it prevents you from seeking clarification at the most critical moments. Learning is like building with Lego. If one of the foundational bricks is wobbly, everything you build on top of it is going to be unstable. Now, this fear can stop your progress dead in its tracks. But the truth is, the smartest people often ask the most questions. So the fix for this one is the explain it to me like I'm 5-year-old rule. Now, when you're stuck, your only goal is to get an explanation that a 5-year-old could understand. Frame your question that way. Say, can you help me understand this in the simplest possible terms? It removes the pressure and gives the other person a clear target for their explanation. And mistake number 4 is letting good ideas die. We're all guilty of this. You have a brilliant insight in the shower, or you read an amazing article, or you hear a great quote, and then you do nothing with it. And this happens because we overestimate the capacity of our working memory. Your brain can only hold a few pieces of information at once, and it's constantly being updated. Think about the number of times you've listened to a podcast or video and thought, that's a great point, I need to remember that. I do it all the time. Then an hour later, when you're sitting at your desk, you've completely forgotten what the point was. Without an external system to offload these ideas, they are quickly pushed out by new thoughts and stimuli. It exists in your brain for a few hours, and then it's gone. So you need to figure out a system to capture and organize these fleeting ideas. And that's the fix. Choose one place for everything. It doesn't matter if it's a physical notebook, a notes app on your phone like Apple Notes or Google Keep, or a more complex system like Notion. The rule is, everything goes in one place. This removes the friction of deciding where to put an idea and ensures nothing gets lost. And finally, mistake number 5 is tutorial purgatory. This is where you learn for the sake of learning and without a specific project or goal in mind. You watch endless coding tutorials, but you never get around to building the website. You learn guitar chords, but never try to play a full song. Now, the problem with this approach is the lack of context, which is crucial for memory and motivation. When your learning isn't tied to a practical outcome, your brain doesn't know where to file the information, making it seem abstract, unimportant. Without a goal, knowledge is just trivia. The fix for this one is to always start with a project. And this doesn't need to be a 3, 6, 12-month project. This could be a very simple 1 hour, 5 hour, 10-hour project. Don't just say, I want to learn Python. Say, I want to build a simple app that tracks my daily water intake. Don't just say, I want to learn to draw. Say, I want to draw a portrait of my dog. The project gives your learning direction, purpose, and most importantly, a finishing line. So there you have it, the 5 biggest learning mistakes. Number 1, being a passive consumer instead of the active learner. Number 2, relying on cramming instead of spaced repetition. Number 3, fearing questions instead of seeking simple explanations. Number 4, having no system instead of a single capture hub. And number 5, learning aimlessly instead of starting with a project. So if you can focus on fixing just one of these this week, I guarantee you'll feel a huge difference. Now I have a question for you, and be honest. Which of these 5 mistakes are you most guilty of? Let me know in the comments below. If you found this video helpful, a simple click of the like button really helps the channel. And if you want to build a complete system for learning anything, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next video. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.